going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is ASA Studio. It's another tutorial in Lightroom, and today I'll be showing you how to color grade and color correct your images, and also how to edit your images. So stay tuned, because we're going to be using each panel inside Lightroom to edit this beautiful image. But first thing first, I want to show you a very important thing you can notice if you're looking at the picture. Look at the skies. It's bright, and the reflection in the water is also bright. And if we want to take down the exposure or the brightness, it's going to affect the full image. And even if we use mask layer, the brighter side isn't going to be affected because it is too bright. And let me show you what I mean by that. If I grab the white balance tool and I go to the brightest side and I click on it, you say cannot set the white balance area, please a darker area. That means whatever we're going to be doing is not going to be affecting. So we're going to be looking for a place that is going to affect the color tone of the color or the skin tones, rather. What I mean is skin tones of the model. Now look at the navigator, and as we hover with the white balance sample tool, you're going to see under the navigator it changes. Take a look at the navigator. You can see that the skin tones color came out, so we can pick this side and it's going to bring out the skin tone the more. Alright, so now if we are going to be adjusting the exposure or the brightness, which is in this case the exposure, if I take it back, it's going to affect the full image and the model itself. So the way to fix that is to pick the brush tool, and the brush tool, I'm just going to paint over the model like this, and you can see the settings of the brush brightens up the model. So I'm just going to brighten up the model very fast, just like that. And since we have this, we can, let's go back to the exposure, and this is too much, so I'm going to bring it back a little. You can see bringing it back, sorry, let's go back to, bringing it back is going to affect the image. So I'm going to take it back just a little and leave it like this, and we can go back to the image and adjust the exposure of the full image and take it all the way back like this. So we have -44. I'm going to go back to the mask, which is this one, and then we could increase till we have something like this, and then I'm going to leave it. So now we're through with the exposure, the setting of the exposure, and if you feel like it's still too bright, you can bring it down a little. So something like -44 is still looking good, but let's bring it to -53. Now I'm going to increase the highlight, bring down the white, and increase the highlights the more. Let's bring down the blacks and bring up the shadows, just like that. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to bring up the texture and give it some vibrance a little bit. Okay, so the rest is going to be under the HSL. I'm not going to go to the tone curve right now. I'm going to go to the HSL, go to the luminance, and let's start with the sky. We all know the color of the sky should be blue, so let's decrease the luminance, and you can see what is happening above the sky. So I brought it down to this extent, bring down the aqua, which is also present in the sky, and just I'm going to brighten up the orange a bit and brighten up the yellows a bit. So just like -15, I'm going to bring up the red too, the same thing. Let's go to the saturation, increase the saturation of the red, which is seen in our lips, so you can see the difference, and increase the saturation of the orange, so till we have something like this. I'm going to increase the saturation of the yellows, and then we have have a beautiful image standing out, something like this, but I don't want it to be too much. I just want it a little bit saturated. Now for the blues, I'm going to make it saturated too, and the aquas just like that, and go to the hues. Now let's make the yellow look more like the orange, and I'm going to go to the blues to make it look more like the blues, and the aqua make it look more like the blues. Okay, so that's that. Now let's go to the tone curve and create an X curve here, bringing it down. I'm going to create another one here, taking it up just like that, and we have it. So now we feel that, as we can see, it's too saturated, so let's go to the saturation tab and bring back the orange and the yellows a bit. Okay, so when you are editing, you can take a look elsewhere and look back at the photo, and you're going to just see what's too much, what you've pushed overboard. So I'm not going to go to the details tab. That's for sharpening, I guess, sharpening and the rest. So there's nothing we want to sharpen, we just want to do some color correction. I'm going to go to the last part, which is the calibration, and I like taking the red primary forward just like this and bringing back the blue primary. Just make the photo look, I'm going to take it all the way back like this. And I like taking the green towards the red, and we're going to have it like that, just a bit, let's say +7, and that looks okay for me. Alright, so we can toggle on before and after with this, so you can see before and after, up and down, and so on and so forth. So this is how to edit your images in Lightroom and do some color grading before taking it to maybe Photoshop and do some more edits. So thank you guys for watching. See you in our next video.